Redirect attacks. Opponent's Digimon effects don't affect you. Bottom deck Digimon. There's a lot that this deck can do. Oh, not to mention it's at 14,000 DP. It's a wall. Bugs are back. Let's get into it. Multimon just allows you to have Blitz at the end of the turn. Downside is you can only attack your opponent's Digimon. You can't attack the player. This is good because then you go into your level 6. TyrantKabuterimon costs 6 to Evo. So Digivolve, Blitz, suspend your opponent's Digimon, and gets still swing over it. So Multimon is very good just for that. TyrantKabuterimon. Really good searcher for this deck, and I think overall Insect screen needs like better searching. So reveal 4, add a card with Insectoid, and then the rest go back to the bottom of the deck. And then all turns once per turn, when this Digimon is suspended, get 1000 DP. So just buffing up your Digimon. For Tentomons, being able to suspend a Digimon at the start of your main phase, so you can suspend your own Digimon or obviously your opponent's Digimon, and then giving something plus 3000 DP. And then the inherit all turns once per turn. When you delete a Digimon by battle, you get to gain a memory. 2 Pomamon, this is more for the matchups, and really even Myotismon would work because you're able to stop your opponent from playing Digimon by effects. So Pomamon is good, especially after you already played your Tyrant and you already have your board set up, where you're really not going to play Digimon by effects anymore. You just drop the Pomamon. Now it's very difficult for your opponent to kind of get rid of your Tyrant. 2 Lopmons is just more for the Alliance. Get that extra aggression, right? That security attack plus. So that's it for the level 3s. Kind of standard of what the format is running right now. So that's why we're not going too much into it. You can definitely run other ones, like more searchers or Floodgate cards. There you go. I'm like, what do I want to say? Level 4, for the Blade Coagamon. This one on play when Digivolving, one of your Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So you could, this basically becomes 7000 DP, or with the TyrantKabuterimon, when you play this from his effect, you give Tyrant 3000 DP. It's really nice. All turns, same thing. When this Digimon is suspended, it gets 1000 DP. It is machine traits, but it does have the rule that it is an insectoid, so the Goku Kabuterimon can search for it. For Coagamon X Antibody, just for the inherit of piercing, you're going to be suspending a lot of Digimon. You want to swing over it. There's nothing better than just swinging at your opponent's Digimon, deleting it, and also going for the security at the same time. That's all I got to say about that. And then 2 of the promo Coagamons. Now, if you don't want to run this one, you could definitely run other cards. You could run the starter deck Kabuterimon if you want. This one is just good because when you do play it, or when it's Digivolving, when it's Digivolved, one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend until the end of the opponent's turn, which can't be good because now if I play... So if you suspend something and then you don't want it to unsuspend, you can't get rid of it, you can't swing over it. You just drop the Coagamon and now they can't unsuspend. So really good overall, but the inherit your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. So now you're just making a monster. Between this and then even Lopmon, right when it's suspended, that's 3000 DP right there when you do swing over something or just swing at security. Metal Life Coagamon is the best level 5 for this deck, and honestly it's going to be a staple moving forward for, yeah, it's just going to be a staple card. When you play it or when it's Digivolved, you may suspend one Digimon. That's it. No, just suspend something. It's kind of like the Tentomon. It could be your Digimon or it could be their Digimon. Then one of your Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of the opponent's turn. So you're just combining Tentomon, except it's on play, and the the Blade Coagamon. So nuts. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may switch the target of attack to one of your suspended Digimon with Insectoid and its trait. So this is what you want. So this is basically Tentomon, Blade Coagamon, and Izzy all in one card. Really nuts. 2 of the Mega Kabuterimon Ace, and I'm not gonna lie, I may cut this down to 1 because you're able to redirect, but this kind of just throws off your opponent if you have a say a Coagamon or whatever, and then it's kind of a pseudo blocker because if they're about to swing into you, you could blast into this. And then when Digivolving, one of your Digimon gets 3000 DP. So now he's at 10. And then if one of their Digimon is attacking, you may switch the target to attack this Digimon. It's a pseudo blocker where you don't have to suspend to block. Then all turns when this Digimon is suspended, it is not affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So now that all this kind of came out with BT15 or this one, and then the starter deck, TyrantKabuterimon, where they're suspended, effects don't affect you from your opponent's Digimon. But just be mindful that the option still will hurt you, right? So a Mega Death bouncing this back, it will work. 2 of the Mega Kabuterimon from starter deck 4. Now these, I would say 3 slots could be a flex spot. A lot of people are doing Rhino Kabuterimon where you swing, you get to Digivolve basically your TyrantKabuterimon for 3 memory as opposed to the full 6, which you can't do that. To me, since you kind of have a pseudo blitz with the Multimon anyway, it's kind of like, well, you know, it's kind of redundant in a way, but it does extend your plays, so that's also good to do that. I like doing this because the build that I'm running, you're going to be able to suspend your opponent's Digimon anyway, and you're going to have piercing. So now the Mega Kabuterimon here, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So now you're going to be hitting 2. One's going to be trashed. And yeah, we'll see with the level 6s. You'll see why I'm running this one. But if you don't like this one, you can definitely take it out for the Rhino Kabuterimon or any level 5 of your choosing. TyrantKabuterimon. 6 to Digivolve, which is very costly, but it's a very broken card. Now I want to do a disclaimer here. Level 6 with Insectoid trait and play cost of 13 or less costs 2. So you could Digivolve this on top of your level 6s. So far they're Insectoid and they cost less than 13 overall. Just keep that in mind. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Digimon card with the Insectoid or Larva trait from your hand with the play cost reduced by 8. So now this will go hand in hand with the new Quagamon Ace because you can play it for free. All turns when this Digimon is suspended, it isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. Like I said, you are still vulnerable to option cards, so be mindful of that. And of course, just, you know, getting swung over, which is why you want to make this guy, you know, like a big wall. End of your turn. Once per turn, by suspending one of your other Digimon, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as the Digimon this effect suspended to the bottom of the deck. So, if you end up playing Metal Life Quagamon from his effect, his on play, you could give him the 3000, so now he's at 10. And now you suspend this one, and now you could bounce something with 10,000 DP or less at the end of your turn from TyrantKabuterimon's effect. So be mindful of that. It's also really good. And that's where kind of the ace kind of comes in handy. If you're going to drop a Blade Quagamon from his effect, then you give it 7, now he's at 7,000 DP, end of turn. Now you suspend, bounce something with 7,000 DP or less. They swing over it. I mean, yeah, at that point you're going to be able to redirect, but you can just now ace, give it another 3,000. He's at 13,000 DP because this is until the end of the opponent's turn. So pretty good. It is pretty good. I already talked about it. 2 of the Grand Quagga Ace. Blast card. On play, when Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Cards this effect suspend can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Then delete 1 of their suspended Tamers. So this is cool because now you kind of have Tamer removals, which we don't have much of. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, 1 of your Digimon gets security attack +1. So if you end up playing it from the Tyrant, right, Digivolve, Tyrant, and now you, bam, play the Grand Quagamon, end of turn, suspend this, even if you're at 6, whatever. So now you give TyrantKabuterimon security attack +1, you got piercing, and you got the Mega Kabuterimon. Now you're checking 3 cards overall. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. So 2 of the Grand Quagga Ace, you could bump it up to 3, which I might do, but I really, really love still the Hercules Kabuterimon. It's another reason why I'm still running the starter deck, not starter deck, I'm sorry, the BT starter deck 4 Mega Kabuterimon. Now, this one has the protection that TyrantKabuterimon has, so when he's suspended, he's not affected by your opponent's Digimon's effect. What I love about this card is start of your main phase and when you Digivolve, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. One of your Digimon gains piercing for the turn. All turns, and then I already said he has protection. Why do I like this so much is because you're not always going to have piercing, unfortunately. You only have 4 ways to give your Tyrant piercing, which is with the... where's this guy? Quagamon X. So this is the only way you're going to get piercing, is these 4. So that's 4 out of 50 cards, or 45 cards if you're not counting your security. So the chances aren't as high. So now this is just going to give you piercing regardless. And so I like this. And then you're just able to always suspend something coming out, have piercing, swing over it. You have this one underneath. And now you trash a card and then you just do the extra security check. So I do like that one. So another one that you could do for the level 5s is you could do the Okuamon. If it's the level 5, Grant, I forgot his name. But it's the promo one that gives you as a inherit piercing. So you could have more ways to give piercing as well. But 6 ways to get piercing as opposed to 4. You could use Shivamon. That one's really nice because it locks board. You play the Tyrant, you play the Shiva, and now it's reduced by 8, so you play it for 4, right? Because things play cost is 12. So you play her for 4, and now that's where the TyrantKabuterimon might be better, because then instead of digivolving for 6, you're digivolving for 3. So right, you digivolve for 3, and then play a Shiva for 4, and now you end up leaving your opponent at 7. But then you lock down your opponent because now they can't use option cards. All your Digimon will be suspended, and the Tyrant can't be swung over, but the Shiva can be. But no problem, it'll get redirected. So now I'm like selling Shivamon, right? But I did try it, but I actually really love. It's hard for me to drop this card because it kind of just goes so well with the Tyrant. Not only that, start your main phase, suspend something, and then you have piercing. You can just Digivolve for 2 into TyrantKabuterimon, and now you just swing over it. And then you can play a Grand Quagga, give yourself another security attack +1. So multiple ways of doing it. And that's what I'm doing so far. What are your level 6 looking like? Let me know. Let's move on to the options. Agility training, because Tyrant is costly and a little bit of searching gets pick up a green card. Green memory boost. Memory is always good, right? And deeper searching, 4 cards as opposed to 2. And then for 1 removal, a giant missile. Now, if you don't want to do a giant missile and you want to do hidden potential discovered, you can. That's where you suspend a Digimon, and then you can basically Digivolve for something for 5 or less, if I'm not mistaken. So you Digivolve for 1 into the Tyrant. But I still think removal is great, and Giant Missile is one of the best cards to do it, especially if I'm going to have piercing, and then I'm going to swing over you and then trash another card. I do like Giant Missile. So that's it for the option cards. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. I am going to be doing battle videos on these, so if you want to check these out in action or any back profiles that I do, minus some misplays, because I do them all by myself, feel free to check them out. Now for the Tamers, 3 of the Izzy's. This one, it's a memory setter, and you're able to redirect into a Digimon that has Insectoid in its trait. So I cut it from 4 to 3 because the Meta Life Kabuterimon allows you to redirect already. So now you have more ways to do it. And not to mention, if you guys seen my old deck profile, the Hercules Kabuterimon, I run the spice of 2 Tai Kamiya starter deck 15. I don't see why not. Because now when you have a mirror match and you guys have the same DP, you're gonna redirect, hit the tie. Aside of being a memory set tamer, when an attack target is switched by suspending this tamer, you get to draw 1, and that Digimon gets 2000 DP for the turn. That can work for, well, basically any Digimon that's going to have that Metal Life Quagamon underneath. But, of course, I can't find it now. That is, yeah, it's going to work for the Kabu Ace. So now you could bump it up to 12,000 because you're going to redirect when you blast. And then bam, you get to draw again. Now, of course, the downside is that it's not searchable. It's going to be hard to get it. You'll bottom deck it. But running it at 2 has been pretty good. I've been seeing it here and there, and it's not kind of like man, I wish, I didn't have them or whatnot. So that's what I'm running. If you guys want to run something entirely different, obviously you can. This is just what I'm messing with, and it's a very fun deck. I'll see you guys in those battle videos.